STARGATE SG-1 Season 4. Base set of 72 trading cards released in 2002 by Rittenhouse Archives. This was the season that really got me addicted to the show. I've already seen some episodes from Season 3 and I liked it. But then some weekend I got to see a marathon of the Season 4 on TV. I remember recording it into a VHS and then watch it over and over. And it's my favorite season of the show. This collection starts with these 3 puzzle checklists. Number 1, 2 and 3. With all the names of the episodes and the air date. As you can see, this season aired in the year 2000 and 2001. Then the base set follows with 3 cards for episode, and also ends with the 3-card puzzle of the team. So it starts with the first episode, Small Victories, which is a continuation of last season's last episode, and they are now fighting a replicator infestation on a Russian sub, while Major Carter is advising the Asgard has to fight the replicators through the galaxy. Episode 2, The Other Side. The Stargate Command is contacted by an advanced civilization requesting their help into fighting an enemy in their own planet, but they found out that they are actually exterminating another way of life in their own planet for being different. Episode 3, Upgrades. The Tok'ra brings some armband devices that upgrade your abilities, but they cannot be tested by the ones who have Goa'uld symbiotes, so they are given to the SG-1 members, Jack, Sam and Daniel, to try. They become superhuman for a while. In episode 4, an old love interest of Teal'c has them believe that her Goa'uld symbiote wants to deflect, and this also has a word from the Tok'ra, who ask for a host so this symbiote can become one Tok'ra. In episode 5, Divide and Conquer, one SG team tries to assassinate a Tok'ra. So the Tok'ra now believe that Zaytarks have infiltrated the SGC. Zaytarks are programmed assassins. Freya and Martuf try to test everyone on the base before the meeting of the leaders, but in the end turns out Martuf was the Zaytark. Window of Opportunity. Now this is my favorite episode of the show. Jack O'Neill and Teal'c got stuck on a time loop and their day is repeating over and over again, just like Groundhog Day. So eventually they start doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Even Jack kisses Sam, because nobody else remembers, and it starts the day all over again. In Watergate, the SGC learns that the Russians are operating their own Stargate, and they have dialed into a water planet, but it turns out the water was alive and it infects some of the Russians, who start killing the others. And the SG-1 has to deal with that. On episode 8, the first ones, we meet the original planet of the Hunas. We learn that they are the first hosts of the Goa'uld, which are from the lakes of the same planet. Daniel Jackson is kidnapped by a young Hunas, but he communicates with him and they start building a relationship. Number 9, Scorched Earth is a great episode. A race called the Incarans have found a new world to live, but they found out there is a giant spaceship that is terraforming the whole planet for an ancient race to live on. And that will be killing everything on the planet, including the Incarans. But Daniel Jackson communicates with the ship representative and they find the original Incaran world and they agree to send them there. On beneath the surface, the minds of the SG-1 have been erased and they have been forced to work as slave labor in an underground power station, as they're being told to help their people surviving an ice age, but it turns out they are just powering a huge city above. In Point of No Return, the SGC is contacted by Martin, a man that believes he is an alien from another planet. And it turns out he is right. He even knows about the Stargate and has a Stargate address and has been drugged by others like him that are living on Earth and don't want to go back. On episode 12, Tangent, Jack and Tilk are testing a new spacecraft made with gold parts, and it turns out the ship has an hidden automatic recall function that makes them go into space back to a goa'uld world, but not with enough oxygen to survive. In The Curse, one of Daniel Jackson's professors dies in a lab accident, which might be related to a goa'uld. Later, Daniel finds that his friend Sarah has been taken as a host for Osiris. Here we see Osiris using the hand device on Daniel. Here Tilk is being tortured in the Serpent's Venom, episode number 14. He went to Chulak, where he is being told there is a rebellion amongst Jaffa warriors, but he is betrayed. He's being tortured by Herour's men, and he plans to offer him to Apophis. In Chain Reaction, General Hammond mysteriously retires, and the new general orders them to send a bomb through the gate, and it goes horribly wrong into a chain reaction that backfires into the SGC. Jack tries to bring back General Hammond, and he finds out that someone has been threatening his grandchildren. In episode 2010, we see an alternate version of the future, where a race called the Ashen, a very advanced race, and have given Earth an enormous amount of science, advance and technology, and medical advances, but it turns out through vaccination they made the humans sterile on purpose. The SG-1 find a way to send a message to the past so it doesn't happen. On Absolute Power, Daniel Jackson goes through disturbing changes on his personality due to a telepathic message from the Arcesis child. The Light, one amazing episode from this season. They found a strange light on a planet that acts as a narcotic. They get addicted to staring at the light, and they feel bad and depressed if they get far from it, with a member of SG-5 committing suicide because of it. Eventually they find a way to gradually withdraw from it. In Prodigy, Samantha Carter tries to inspire a brilliant lieutenant from the Air Force. She takes her to another planet on a base, where they suddenly get attacked by a mysterious light insect who pierces through their skin, but Their weakness is electricity, so Tilk here is zapping them with the Zack Nicotel. In Entity, the SGC sends a MALP to an alien planet, and an alien entity gets into the SGC's computer systems through the MALP, and then into Major Carter. As a way to defend their planet, Jack eventually threatens this entity to leave Major Carter, or they will send more MALPs to their planet. On Double Jeopardy, SG-1 visits a planet that is hostile to them, saying how can they return. They then find out that their robot counterparts made in the episode Tin Man have visited their planet. Kronos orders them to decapitate Daniel, and they find out he is a robot. The last episode of the season, Exodus. The SG-1 delivers a new confiscated Goa'uld mothership to help the Tok'ra evacuate their planet. And here this trading card set ends with the three human members of SG-1, Jack O'Neill, Samantha Carter, and Daniel Jackson. You can see that the background is connecting them like a 3 puzzle piece. And that is it for Stargate SG-1 Season 4 base card set from Rittenhouse Archives.